Hey, how's it going, friends? I'm Dave Plus, and I do teach science, and this is my channel. And I thought it would be fun to share with you some of the really great books that I've read about science that are a little bit different. And they're graphic novels about science. And what's a graphic novel? Well, it's just a comic book that went to university. And I'd love to share with you some great works, and I'm going to start with something from Larry Gonick. And if you don't know Larry Gonick, you should definitely look into learning about some of his stuff. It's just amazing. And we're going to start with the Cartoon Guide to Biology. So enjoy. It was actually Larry Gonick and Dave Wessner who wrote this. Larry Gonick always brings in an expert to work with, and chapter 1 is entitled Organizing a Riot. Biology isn't what it used to be. In times gone by, our ancestors saw little difference between non-living and living things. They saw volcanoes belch, rivers run, the sun rise in the evening, the wind moan and sigh, and clouds drop waters. So the ancients can be forgiven for seeing a world animated by nature, can't they? Just a little aside, this way of viewing the world is known as animism. Now, this way of viewing the world at some point mostly died out, and some people focus their attention on plants and animals alone. Applied scientists bred new, super-productive, human-friendly crops and cattle, and relentlessly searched for effective medicines. I often think of this when people complain about genetically modified organisms. Everything that we eat or grow has been modified for that purpose through selective breeding. So that's just something to think about. Now back to the story. So I talked about the farmers and pharmacists. Others began to collect and study living things for the pure pleasure of advancing knowledge. There's a name for these people, not weirdos. That's right, they were biologists. For many centuries, this was biology. Search, collect, kill, cut, compare, classify. Biologists took on the world from the outside in. The Greek physician Galen learned human anatomy by dissecting Barbary apes. So that establishes biologists as documenters of life. And biologists went even deeper when microscopes revealed an invisible living world, and even finer details of plant and animal anatomy. This only doubled the difficulty. On the outside, life is a wild riot of millions and millions of forms, and it only gets more complicated on the inside. How do you organize this? And that really is the crux of it, isn't it? How do we organize life? That's the question of biology, and if you'd like to know what the answer is, why don't you stick around for part 2 of chapter 1, Cartoon Guide to Biology. See you soon.